So I guess I'll just start right here.
We cannot see ourselves on the screen. Howdy, everyone. Is the microphone up? Is the microphone? Okay. Howdy, everyone. My name is Antonio Salazar. I'm a senior biology student from Mexico, and I am the co-chair of iStory at the Texas A&M International Student Association.
Hello, my name is Whitney Goodrich. I'm a junior communications student, and I'm so happy to be a co-chair for this wonderful event. I'm thrilled to introduce you to our wonderful judges and participants.
First, we want to thank you all for coming to iStory, part of the International Student Association's iWeek celebration. iStory is a way for students from various countries to come together to discuss and present their home countries. This will give students a way to share their rich culture and study of their homelands.
iWeek, or International Week, is an event that has been around for 41 years and is organized by the Texas A&M International Student Association, by the Texas A&M International Student Association. This association is 52 years old and represents international students and their interests.
Today, we have 4 speakers prepared to present on their home culture and their traditions and celebrations. The participating countries are Honduras, India, Colombia, and the United Arab Emirates.
Remember that this event is also a competition. We have a panel of 4 judges who will score each presenter based on their content, presenter, and style. Each participant will have a chance to earn 9 points per judge for a maximum of 36 points. We will tally each presenter's score and determine the winner, which will be announced this Friday at 5:30 p.m. during iAwards.
At this time, we would like to introduce our wonderful judges. First, we have Dr. Lane, who is the director of the Center of International Business Studies, Mace Business School at the Texas A&M University. She has worked in the international education for more than 10 years, creating new programs and initiatives, providing an oversight for outreach and risk management, and the co-leading programs in Chile and Taiwan.
We also have Mr. Bill Taylor, who has been with the International Student Services since 1998 and became director in 2013. He is the primary designated school official for the F visa program and the responsible officer for the J visa program at Texas A&M University.
Then we have Mr. Samuel Neely, who is working his PhD in the Department of Geology and Geophysics at Texas A&M University. Samuel does the research in paleontology and peat topology.
Lastly, we have Mr. Alexander Nagley, who is an international student advisor. He is a designated school official for F program, he's also the alternate responsible officer for the J program.
Now it's the time to introduce our speakers. Our first presenter will be Sergio Naveda Metzgen. His major is aerospace engineering, major of class of 2021, and he will be talking about Honduras.
Howdy, and good evening to our fellow Aggies and to all our guests. I am Sergio Naveda. I'm from the class of 2021, and I'm majoring in aerospace engineering. I'm from Honduras, and I'm here to talk about some of our cultural traditions and some of the places that we will love for you to visit. So this is an image from the coastal area of Honduras. As you can see, many people live from the sea and all they can fish from it, but you can also take a dive and look at other beauties that you can see underwater. With 112,492 square kilometers and a population of 10 million people, Honduras is the second most populated and biggest country of Central America. We have access to both the Pacific and the Atlantic coasts, which gives us the advantage of being a route of major trade for all sorts of goods from around the world. The capital is Tegucigalpa, and the second major city and second biggest is San Pedro Sula, which is the city I was born in. The fact that we have access to both the Atlantic and the Pacific Ocean can be seen in our flag. The two blue stripes represent the two oceans that we have access to, and the white stripe represents the peace that we want to live under. The 5-star represents the original 5 republics of the Central American Republic. This is our national bird. It is the red macaw, and it lives in the rainforest area of Honduras. You can go down to Honduras, visit, and have them sit on your lap, sit on your shoulders, and take pictures with them. They're really friendly. They like to eat fruits and nuts. For our biology majors, the species is Ara macaw. It is not under threat of extinction, thankfully. We have taken good care of our bird. Demographics, well, mostly our people are mestizo, which was a term used by the Spanish to designate people of European and native descent. We are Christians, Roman Catholic, and Protestant evangelical. We also have a minority Amerindian population. And we also have a minority Garifuna or Black population. They speak their own language, Garifuna, and they live in the coastal areas of Honduras, and they depend on fishing and trading. A great thing about Honduras is that it is the hotspot of the Mayan civilization. You can go and visit the capital of the Maya kingdom, Copan, which is located on the western area of our nation. And here you can see the Acropolis, which it constitutes of the remains of the city of Copan. It was founded by Kinich Yaxcogmo in the 429 after Christ. It had a peak population of 20,000 people at some point. And how do we know this? All the hieroglyphs that remained, and we can still see to this day, tell the story of the building of the city, tell the story of the kings and the people that fought over the lands. It was mostly a trade center and a political capital. So it was not a big sprawling city. It was concentrated in the main square where the sport of ball was played, so that you can trace a lot of sports that require balls to play to the Mayans, and they play a sport really close to soccer. So they were not allowed to use their hands, but they could just use their shoulders, and they could just use their legs to kick the ball. It is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Honduras has a lot of natural resources. It has timber, gold, copper, and lead mining going on. It exports world-class coffee and cacao beans. It is also known for its hand-rolled cigars and the tobacco products that are exported from Honduras. Textiles is a big part of our economy. We export jeans, undergarments, and many other manufacturing products. There is a big chance that your Nike socks or your favorite NFL team jersey was produced a couple miles off from my house in San Pedro Sula. Also, if you love Starbucks coffee, you most likely are enjoying a brew of coffee beans from Copan, Honduras. So here is the composition of our economy. As you can see, it is mostly textile based. And we also have a growing economy on technology. Insulated wire and optical fiber cables are manufactured in mass in Honduras and exported all over the world. Fish and other products from the sea are a great economic force in Honduras. We export shrimp, tilapia fish, and crustaceans. Some of the food that I personally enjoy. I'm from the coastal area, so I focus mostly on the food that we have in that region. So we have casabe, which is made from the yuca root. We also have coconut bread. I like conch soup, which is made out of the conch, which is a seafood, and it is prepared with coconut milk and other spices. You also have a baleada, which is a tortilla, a flour tortilla with refried beans, cheese, avocado, and you can add other toppings like sausage. If you go to the inland, it will be mostly a corn-based diet. You can enjoy atol, which is a sweet drink that is prepared with corn, cinnamon, and milk. You also have the tamales, which are a corn product that is like a cake, and you can enjoy it warm. It could be enjoyed for breakfast, lunch, or even dinner. We have lots of holidays and festivals. First, the June Fair in San Pedro Sula, my hometown, is a celebration of the birth date of our city. So during this event, we have a carnival. We also have parades along the main roads of the street, and we have a lot of markets where you can go and buy fresh food, fresh fruit, and enjoy with people from your community. There are also many recreational events that go on that you can take your family to. Similar to Mardi Gras, the city of La Ceiba holds a ceremony and a parade for their patron saint, Saint Isidore. So it's an event where you gather out with your family and you can enjoy all the traditions of the northern part of Honduras. Holy Week in Comayagua is very special, as you can go and see the processions, go to church, and enjoy the ritual passages of the Holy Week. You can also admire the carpets that are prepared by many of the locals, that they use a lot of dyed plants and flowers to create these carpets all along the streets of Comayagua. There are many notable Hondurans. Honduras is also known worldwide for its athletes and great sportsmen. Sil Salvador Moncada, he was born in Tegucigalpa, Honduras, and he is a pharmacologist, doctor. He is a fellow of the Royal Society and a foreign member of the National Academy of Sciences. He has many degrees, some of which there are too many, I cannot name them. And he has been advising science and technology. His main research, what he's mostly known for, is his research on the compound prostacyclin, which is a compound used to treat pulmonary arterial hypertension. We have David Suazo, one of my favorite soccer players. He's a football striker. He played in Inter de Milan for 5 years, and he won the 2005 Serie A Foreign Footballer of the Year. He has a total of 113 Serie A football goals. And last but not least, we have Teofimo Lopez. He recently won the lightweight championship of the world. So he is a world-class boxer, and he was born in San Pedro Sula, Honduras, and he trains in Brooklyn, New York. Finally, I would like to share some facts about Honduras. So The oldest clock in the American continent is located in Honduras. You can go visit it at the Inmaculada Concepcion Cathedral in Comayagua, where they brought this clock from Granada, Spain, which was originally built by the Arabs in 1100. And then it was when Spain did the Reconquista and recaptured the south of Spain, then they acquired this clock and they took it to the New World. To this day, it is sitting in the top of the church and you can still visit. And it is a properly functioning clock, one of the oldest in the continent. Why was Honduras named like that? So Honduras literally translates to great depths. And on his fourth trip, Christopher Columbus stopped in Honduras. So he was really astounded by the depths of the waters that surrounded the coastal area. So whenever he wrote in his diary, in his journal, for the first time going through the area, he named the place the Great Depths because of he could not settle his anchors in the ocean. You can also go to Honduras and visit the Mesoamerican Barrier Reef. You can do snorkeling, diving, and an interesting fact is that this is the second largest coral reef burial in the world. You can go and see the starfish and take pictures like this. Try not to take him out of the water. This is a picture of the cathedral in my hometown, San Pedro Sula. And I would like to invite everybody to Honduras, and I hope to see you guys soon. Thank you very much for your attention. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Sergio. Definitely very excited about visiting Honduras soon.
Our next presenter will be Devish Akar. He is a biology major, class of 2024, and he will be talking about India.
Howdy, everyone. My name is Devashish, and I'm a biology major, class of 2024 from India. For today's iStory event, I would like to, the theme is celebration, and I would like to talk about one of the biggest and most important celebrations that we celebrate in India. So the celebration that I want to talk about is called Holi, and it is also known as the Festival of Colors. Holi is celebrated all over India, and so there's 30 states in India, and it is celebrated in almost all of them. The importance of Holi is that it is celebrated as the festival of triumph of good over evil in the honor of Hindu god Vishnu. It also marks the start of spring and the end of winter with celebration and a new start to life. It is a major festival of Hindus and predominantly celebrated in India and Nepal. So there are two main days to Holi. The first day is called Holika Dahan, and that is when, as you can see, everyone gathers around a bonfire and everyone sings, dances, has fun, prays as well. And the second day is called Ranga Panchami, and that is when everyone goes out and it is the actual celebration of the Festival of Colors. Everyone throws powdered color on each other, water, and everyone has fun. So the traditional clothing for Holi celebration is the white or colorful kurta, as you can see in the picture. It is worn on the first and the second day. And especially on the second day, people love to wear the white color, as when you go out and you have fun, throw colors on each other, everyone wants to see how much you're having fun and celebrate. So as you can see in the slide, Holi, any celebration calls for a lot of good food. And there's the different foods in this picture are samosas and laddus. And these are traditional Indian foods that people love to eat at almost every celebration. Now, as I mentioned earlier, that it is a festival of colors, and people, along with dried powder, everyone also loves to throw water at each other. And as you can see in the picture, that is a water tanker, and water's coming out of the pipe, and there's people dancing and everything. And for children, it's children play with water guns. But over the last decade, water conservation efforts have been made all over the country. Now, this has made a lot of people angry, as you know, they believe that it is their celebration and they should be allowed to do whatever they want. But but there are others who understand that we also need to conserve water at this time. And so water conservation efforts have greatly been made. The government of India is pushing every year, they try to push towards a dry Holi where only dried colored powder is used, and they make sure it's organic and safe for the population as well. Now, Holi is also a celebration. So you might think everyone is having fun. People are going outside, throwing colors on each other, throwing water. And you might think that this is only something that adults or, like teenagers do, but that's not true. You can see in this picture, these are the kids having fun. Now in this picture, obviously the adults are also having fun. And not only that, but the elderly also play Holi everywhere in India. There's a celebration that everyone celebrates and starts the mark of joy. Now, as I mentioned earlier, it is predominantly celebrated in India and Nepal. But over the years, the celebration has grown to other parts of the world. On the left, you can see people celebrating Holi in Durban, South Africa. On the right, you can see a girl celebrating Holi in Berlin, Germany, especially in the United States as well. I live here in Houston, Texas, and we have a big Holi festival every year. Last year, it was canceled due to COVID, obviously, but Holi is celebrated around this time in March. It is also celebrated on every continent in the world except Antarctica. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Dev. Now, our next presenter is going to be Karen Cepeda. She is a master in performance studies. She's a class of 2022, and she will now talk about Colombia.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Karen. I am from Colombia, and today I will be talking about the festivals of San Pedro and San Juan in Colombia. The title of my presentation is Festivals of San Pedro and San Juan, the Strength of the Collective and the Joy. I titled this presentation like that since they are not just festivals, they represent my roots and they reflect the strength of the collective in this region of Colombia. So what are they? They are one of the richest folkloric expressions in my country. It has peasant tradition and the music is the center of these festivals. We have two types of music that are the main music there, which are bambucos and pasillos. The history and idiosyncrasy is exalted in these festivals. So now I'm going to invite you to listen. Let's see if it... Oh, no, it's not a problem then. Then we will go in through the presentation and we will see the video. That's fine, thank you. So where are they? Where are these festivals? They are in Colombia. Colombia is my country located in South America. And the region that we're talking about is in the center of Colombia. It is called Big Tolima, and there are two states, Tolima and Huila. My family and my roots are mainly from Huila. So why they are, or why are they important? I wanted to mention this, like what is the significance that they have for me? And they reflect the construction of the collective meaning in the territory. My grandmother and my grandfather are peasants. They were born and they were raised in Huila, as well as my aunts, my uncles, and my mother. Unfortunately, violence and iniquity made them leave the region. However, the festivals of San Pedro and San Juan are really good opportunities for my family to come together, to go to the region and to construct again the social fabric that the violence has wanted to disappear. The name of the town where my grandfather and grandmother born is Algeciras. It's located in Huila. There you will see they are my little cousins with traditional customs, and in the center is my mother. There below is my family. We got together every year for these festivals. And this is a picture that one of my cousins took. So where do they come from? In the beginning, it was an imposition from the Catholic Church in honor to Saint John the Baptist, a saint from ancient Christian Europe, and later the tribute to the Apostle Peter was included as well. However, as has happened with most imposed traditions, the local populations, such as the indigenous, the Pijao indigenous, have resisted by incorporating their music, food, and dance. What happens during the festivals? So mainly we have dances. The principal dance is called San Juanero or Bambuco. The most important event of the festivals is the Ring of Bambuco that qualifies the danceability of the participants, not their beauty, which is awesome. There we have some picture of the participants, the winners as well. They are children that participate as well. And now we have a video of this dance. All right, so that was the main dance, the Bambuco dance. As you can see, we have some traditional costumes, especially for women, are handmade and are really beautiful. They are used in the dance. And then we also have culinary diversity during these festivals. We find the most delicious dishes in my country, such as lechona or Tolima sucliping, tamales, and achiras. My grandmother is really good with tamales. And well, let me invite you to the festivals of San Pedro and San Juan. They honor our diversity, and usually they are from June 29th to July 5th. We don't need gifts, just bring joy. Thank you.
right. Thank you, Karen, for that great presentation. We now have AJ Matthew. He's going to be talking about the United Arab Emirates. He's class of 2021. He's a major of architecture engineering, and we have him on Zoom right now. So if AJ, you can unmute yourself and start sharing your screen and your video.
All right. Am I audible to everyone? All right. So I'm gonna go ahead and share the disabled. Oh. Hey, bud, can you enable the screen sharing real quick? All right, never mind. All right. All right. Howdy, everybody. Today I'll be talking about my hometown, Abu Dhabi. All right, let's get to it. So Abu Dhabi, a little background about Abu Dhabi. So Abu Dhabi is an emirate in the country called United Arab Emirates, which is called UAE. So there are 7 emirates in UAE. So basically, emirate is like a state, like we call here in Texas, in the United States, but we just call it an emirate, and it's comprised of 7 emirates. So basically, like 7 states. So Abu Dhabi is the capital of UAE, and the most visited and the most popular places in the United Arab Emirates is Abu Dhabi and Dubai. The national language is Arabic, and the most common greeting that you hear people say is "Assalamu alaikum," which basically means "peace be upon you." So that can be seen as like a hello, hey, what's up? Just like a more formal way of saying it. And here's like the little something that just some facts. So Dubai is like a Muslim country, but there is free practice of religion. That means that there's Christianity, there's Judaism, there's Hinduism. It's all practiced in the country, but it's most predominantly a Muslim country. So some of the very famous, so it's not necessarily celebrations, but like events that the UAE in general celebrates is Eid and Ramadan. It's like the major religious events in the United Arab Emirates. And Christmas and other festivals are also celebrated, as they've said before. Holi is also celebrated there. We have like a little park where we all get together and just, as you said, throw colors in water. It's all celebrated there in UAE. And UAE is a land filled with diversity. You'll meet people from many different backgrounds, but the most common are like the Emirati population, which is like the most local population of that land. But it's so diverse that you can meet so many different people. All like you can see like Asians, Indians, Pakistanis, like everybody's literally there in the United Arab Emirates. So the main industry back in the 1900s was like fishing and oil. And the place where I'm from, there's like a big coast where you can always catch fresh fish. And fishing is still one of a big industry, but it's not as popular as tourism as the country expanded from what it was before. We used to rely on oil a lot back in the 90s, but now our oil has died a bit, and we started expanding. We started spending more money towards tourism. And as you can see, one of the best kingfish, it's called hamor. We call it back there, and it's the best one is caught on the coast of Abu Dhabi and Dubai. That little section of water, that's where the best ones are caught, and it's always it's always very fresh. And for most of the people, violence is not necessarily an option. Like if there's some conflict, we always try to like resolve it through peace instead of like try to make it into a bigger problem than what it is. So some greetings in traditional fashions, as I mentioned before, Assalamu alaikum is like the basic most greeting that you can ever say. And for men and female, what we do, this might sound like a little weird, but like all these local people, they give like a shake hand and they give like 3 kisses on each side. So you always start on the right, left, and you end on the right. You don't necessarily go like it's just like a little cheek touch on each side, just to show it's a sign of respect. So elderly men usually kiss the younger people on their forehead, which is a sign of respect uh, that they show towards you. And always if there's like a family gathering, always the oldest person has to be greeted first before greeting anyone else, or else it's considered disrespectful to the elderly person that's in the room. So the men traditionally wear a kandura. As you can see, this nice gentleman, he's wearing a nice little kandura. That's the white little robe that you see. And on his head, like instead of this, he's wearing that little black thing with the scarf. It's called a dish dasher, and it's very like it might look like that, but it's very hard. If like it has to be tied in a perfect like a specific way to look like how he's wearing it. And the women, they wear like a hijab, which is like a face and head scarf covering, and they wear it like all the time. And they wear this burqa and abaya, which is what this nice lady is wearing. It's mostly they cover the entire body, everything except their little eyes, so they can see. Mhm. And food is something that is my weakness. So my favorite food is called a shawarma. It can be in beef or chicken, and on special occasions, it is offered in camel meat as well. As you can see, this nice gentleman over there, he's doing this. That picture right there. That's actually how the process of a shawarma is made. A mixed grill is very common too. That's that little plate with the tomatoes over there. It consists of kebabs, fajita, not necessarily fajitas, but like it's a sort of like a fajita sort of thing, like shish tuk, and it's beautiful. And hummus and baklava is like very common. I've tried hummus and baklava here too, and it's very good. Falafel was eaten a lot. It's basically made a vegetable thing made from a seed. And pork is not eaten by Muslim people as it's considered haram because it's not considered as a clean meat. So Muslim people do not eat bacon or pork related stuff. All right, so as you can see, there are just pictures, and I'll go through everything. So the first picture to your left side, it says full squad match in Abu Dhabi. So one thing, Sheikh Mansour, he owns Manchester City, any soccer fans that they know, and one of the training grounds is there in Abu Dhabi. So it's called in Yas, and that's where they had their training. And I was fortunate enough to go see them live when I was in eighth grade. I want to say, yeah, it was in the eighth grade. And the picture next, where you can see this Ferrari, it's the Ferrari World that has the world's fastest roller coaster in it. It's actually super fun, and you need to wear these little goggles kind of thing so your eyes don't go back into your head in 3 years or something. And the picture towards the most right on the top is the Emirates Palace. It's the world's only 7-star hotel, I want to say, and that's where the Fast and Furious 7, if y'all watched it, was shot. Like those beginning scene, not the beginning scene, towards the end where the car goes. That was at that palace. Coming down towards the left, all the way, you can see Yas Marina Circuit. That's where the Formula One happens, the Grand Prix. It's a very beautiful place. If y'all ever get a chance, please do so. The picture where you see right next to it, those little cone things, it's the Al Hajr Towers, but we call it the Pineapple Building. The reason why is because once the sun is right above it, those little sections, you see, they open up. And once the light is done, they close back down. So I couldn't get like I should have thought about it and put like another picture of it, but I didn't think through. So y'all gonna see a close one, but it opens up, I promise. And the one all the way towards the right, the last picture, you might be wondering, might be a little fancy hotel, but it's actually not. It's a shisha lounge. And the ones in Abu Dhabi and Dubai, they look so beautiful and spectacular. And this one in particular, the reason why I put this picture is because if you look towards the bar area, that's actually an aquarium, and there's actually fish swimming through there. It's just there's like an entry fee, and like the prices are insane. but it's worth an experience because if you look, it's on the 56th floor of a tower. So if you look outside, you can see all the skylines of Abu Dhabi. It's just beautiful. And so this is just some random information on top of my head. I just, from what I know, as I mentioned, Fast and Furious 7 was filmed in Abu Dhabi, and soccer is called football, and everybody plays it. So, like, like if you don't have a soccer ball, we used to like crush like water bottles or like tin foil, and we just used to kick around, and it's pretty fun. People of multiple nationalities live in UAE. Like the Emirati people are very hospitable. That means that if you're invited to their house for as a guest, they will treat you like a king. Like they will feed you, they'll give you gifts. It's just like, and you'll think that it's just they're being nice to you, but this is how they do to everybody that comes to their house. They're very hospitable people and they take care of their people. Alcohol is considered haram for the Muslim communities and is not consumed a lot. I mean, basically at all by the Muslim people. Like I've met very few people that consume alcohol that are Muslims back in UAE, and even like there's only like maybe few places that sell alcohol, and that is also not locally public, public to everybody. Oh, most important thing, think twice before you can outrun a cop in UAE. Like over here, we might have Chevys and Fords, but back there, back in Dubai, like there's like Mustangs, there's like Lamborghinis, there's an Audi. Like they will race you. I mean, not race you, chase you. My bad. But they are pretty fast. And then I think we got like a new sort of not necessarily a helicopter sort of thing, but like it flies over you so they can like track you down and beep, 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 beep. Not necessarily shoot, but like track you with a little light. It's pretty fun. Don't mess with people's exotic pets. Like I've had friends that had falcons, leopards, gazelles, and one of the dumbest thing that people do is as soon as they see like an exotic bird, they try touching it, and that's considered very disrespectful. It's like basically spitting on their face, sort of thing. Because like just to maintain and take care of a falcon is way expensive, and if you're not trained and you don't know what you're doing, please do not approach a falcon or any other pet. That they found it very, very, very rude. UAE was tax free for the longest, but tax got implemented like maybe 2 to 3 years ago. So every time we buy something, there's like a income tax. And one thing what I mentioned, you will not starve for more than 6 hours in the country. What that means is that if you ask for help for anybody from anybody in that country, they will give you help. Like they won't like they give you they aid you, they'll even give you a job sort of thing. That's how much, if you're willing to work, you will get a job. They will feed you and they will pay you. So that's also a good thing. As I said, they're very hospitable. The UAE National Day is December 2nd. So a national day basically means, as I mentioned, they were all 7 different emirates. So all these emirates were different countries sort of thing. But on December 2nd, 1972, with the presence of late Sheikh Zayed bin Sultan Al Nahyan, all the rulers came together, signed the peace treaty, and that's how UAE became formed. Now, UAE is just one, and UAE has 7 emirates. So that's pretty fun. And looks like that's all I have for y'all today. And if you have any doubts, or if you ever want to go to Dubai, let me know. I'm always free. And yeah, y'all have a good day.
The Crowcroft Institute of International Affairs, the Association of Former Students, and Pepsi. Without their generous support, this event would not have been possible.
Finally, we want to thank everyone who has joined any of the live streams and to the people here in the room. Thank you to everyone that has come, and we look forward to seeing you in this Friday. We're gonna have iAwards at 5:30 p.m. where the winners are gonna be announced, and hope to see everyone there as well. And this was iStory 2021. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.